This part's really easy. Bjorn, would you like to join us again? You've already been introduced, I believe, in the previous session. Slip down from there's another one.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm representing the Information Flanders agency at the crossroads of local governments, federal government, citizens, and private sector. I would like to share with you our experiences on the strategy of interoperability of base registries in Flanders from an organizational, technical, semantic, and legal perspective. But before we take off, a little preamble. The rapid transformation of our society and the digital revolution, along with budgetary pressure, pose challenges for governments and the future of public services. The evolution of society requires public administration to tackle many new challenges, including those around demographic change, employment, mobility, security, environment, and many others. This transformation involves great challenges from a technical, political, legal, and organizational point of view, and in terms of working cultures. In order to succeed in the adoption and effective promotion of collaborative services, governments must focus on making machine-readable data available, because in a future world where software builds itself, computers will only be limited by the data they can or cannot access. Our agency has set up a program, Flanders Radical Digital, which needs to ensure that all actors buy into the change process and to guarantee value for efforts. To reap the full benefits of these concepts, an appropriate governance structure is needed, setting the boundaries of open government and adapting to the collaboration of networks within it. We need to provide guidance to coordinated collaboration towards commonly agreed goals and accountability mechanisms within the given legal framework in Flanders. The program Flanders Radical Digital will link and integrate the world's inside governments, about 80 departments, 308 municipalities, but also with those outside traditional government boundaries. It involves breaking down, or at least cooperation between silos across different administrations, processes, data, resources, and tools. To accomplish this goal, the Flemish region will focus on interoperability at each level, aligned with the principles of the European Interoperability Framework. This framework will serve as an agreed approach for organizations in Flanders that wish to work together towards the joint delivery of public services. It specifies a set of common elements such as vocabulary, concepts, principles, policies, guidelines, recommendations, standards, specifications, and practices. The Information Flanders agency is undertaking ambitious reforms to further transform government services. The drivers for reform include increasing expectations by citizens and businesses for effective services, but also the increasing pressure on government budgets, requiring that they do more with considerably less. The focus will be on the development of interconnected base registries in order to achieve the once-only principle. As I said before, in future, governments need to be connected and networked with each other and with private actors. However, the public sector is slow in implementing digital end-to-end services, let alone in achieving cross-border interoperability. In order to achieve these goals, government silos will have to dissolve. The development of linked-based registries is seen as a part of the solution to overcome this hurdle. These base registries offer reliable sources of authentic information on persons, businesses, parcels, buildings, locations, and are therefore considered to be the cornerstone of public services. Linking base registries with other authentic information sources through online public services is also crucial to reduce business costs and increase efficiency and quality of service provided to citizens and companies. The interfaces between these registries needs to be defined, published, and harmonized, both at semantic and technical levels. The interoperability program of the Flemish government, Open Standards for Linked Governments, also referred to as ISA², focuses on the semantic level and will extend ISA core vocabularies in order to facilitate the integration of base registries with one another and their implementation in business processes of both public and private sector. By the end of this year, we will launch our first Oslo-enabled product, the Central Reference Address Database, as linked open data. This is a base register containing over 3 million addresses in the Flemish region and their geographical coordinates, and it will be ISA and INSPIRE compliant. At the same time, we are developing a building register that also will comply to these standards. Other Oslo-enabled products planned to be published are the Crossroads database for persons and public organizations and businesses, and these will be released during the next year. And other base registries will follow the same path. From the Flemish region, we would like to share our insights and results through the JoinUp platform, which is a collaborative platform created by the ISA program. We hope by sharing the results of Oslo, other administrations can choose, reuse, implement, and give feedback on our solutions on interoperability. Because the ISA core vocabularies are going to be a cornerstone of the Flemish program on linked base registries, we need sustainable building blocks in terms of governance and legislative regional approach. As I said before, if ISA could embed the specification in the legislation to ensure that the information infrastructures in regions and member states are compatible, we believe that this could speed up the interoperability process. The Flemish Information Agency already implemented successfully the INSPIRE Directive as a major development that has been entering in force of the INSPIRE Directive in May 2007, establishing an infrastructure for spatial information in Europe to support community environmental policies and policies or activities which may have an impact on the environment. It addresses 34 spatial data teams needed for environmental applications with key components specified through technical implementing rules. We suggest that ISA develops a roadmap to embed the specification in the legislation to ensure that the data infrastructures of member states and regions are compatible and usable in a community and transboundary context. This ISA directive could require that common implementing rules are adopted in a number of specific areas such as metadata, data specifications, network services, data and service sharing, and monitoring and reporting. These implementing rules could be adopted as Commission decisions or regulations and must be binding in their entirety. This vision as a whole of government approach in which the public sector in many ways acts as one entity, including the municipalities, especially in its interactions with other actors, including citizens and businesses. A strong, unified information policy requires a unified agency. In Flanders, the departments responsible for the base registries merged into a new integrated agency, creating a single point of service delivery through the data portal ISA², which allows public bodies, citizens and businesses to access all government-supplied services, regardless of which authority or channel provides them. In present, 308 local governments, almost 1,000 public partners and over 2,000 private partners are connected to our secure platform, requesting each business day millions of information objects on citizen business addresses, buildings, and other location objects. This strategy will contribute to minimizing duplication of tasks and associated costs, and will make Flemish government bodies and municipalities more agile, enabling them to respond better to future conditions where value shifts from software to the ability to leverage data. Thank you very much.